What is your American dream?
My American dreams at this moment, living the blissful aspect of knowing that I could be free of my detachments. If I could detach anything that is creating pain, and that this country has allowed me to become the best version of me, I think that is called the American dream for me.
The American dream too is about realization. The most important thing in my life is to find my home. I'm so grateful to be living in America, and it's such an experience for me. To connect with my soul is the way that I'm living my American dream.
Living the American dream in the wildest dream. Who would I ever thought that I was going to live in New York City, having these amazing choices and possibilities? America has been the best gift I ever had, because it has allowed me to become the best version of who I am.
Everyone has a right to the American dream.
Groundhog Sam! Oh my gosh, I cannot believe this little town. I'm like Godzilla compared to this town. Wow, it's a train! Oh my God, it's a train. I've never been on a train. I really need to try to get on a train sometime. You know, I've been thinking about trying to figure out the subway system. I hear that people burrow around here. Choo, choo, and choo. And I mean, it's adorable. It's like a little winter wonderland. Go, 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 train, go, choo, 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 woo, woo. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited. This is just like, I can't even, my senses are on overload. There's a little family. Oh, there's a little brew house. They say caffeine will stunt your growth, but bottom line, this is probably about as tall as I'm gonna get. Kind of reminds me of my hometown back in Puxatawny. Anyway, did you miss yesterday's episode of Bradshaw Live? Well, in case you did, Brad spoke to the co-owner, Dan DeFossi, of Pinche Gringo Barbecue Restaurant located in Mexico City. He also spoke to Pinche Gringo Barbecue's kitchen leader, Hugo Hernandez. Besides serving delicious barbecue, Dan's restaurant hires people deported back to Mexico, so they all have jobs. Hugo, the kitchen leader, is a deportee who's worked for the restaurant for 4 years. The patrons of the restaurant get to have an American experience in Mexico. It was truly quite an amazing segment. Anyway, what's on today's show? Well, you'll have to watch and see. You'll find out where I am. And now it's the time you've all been waiting for. It's time for Bradshaw Live, starring Brad Bernstein and co-host Belgium Kim. Yeah, enjoy. Choo choo.
All right, welcome everybody. Thursday, December 13th. That groundhog is absolutely insane. We need like groundhog psychiatrists for that guy.
We need handlers.
We need like animal handlers,
Yeah.
I think, for that groundhog now.
Absolutely.
I'm very formal today.
You are very formal. Should we be more formal on the show? I don't know. You tell me. Should be on.
You told me.
Now it's off.
No, now it's on.
Now it's on.
You hear me now? Yeah?
Do you hear ya? Do you hear
my
what?
microphone is missing. What happened to my microphone?
Brett.
What? You talk, Kim.
This is what. Hey everybody, how you doing? Squad. Brett's got some light technical difficulties.
There we go. Here we go. Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2.
For the record, Brad was adamant about putting his own microphone
I
on
was.
today.
That is very funny. Well, first of all, I have to say the groundhog's insane and needs his own like animal handlers, I think, or something.
Absolutely.
Insane groundhog, but we're past that now.
Absolutely.
Because my microphone fell off my lapel.
Your lapel.
And I do have to say it is Thursday, December 13th. But Kim is absolutely right. Pat Rice
Yeah.
Also known as Patrice.
Also known as Patrice.
That's her nickname, Patrice.
P-Slice is what I like to call her.
No. I give her a nickname, Patrice, but it's really Pat Rice.
But it's really
so Pat Rice comes in, and Pat Rice was a little under the weather.
Yeah, she is.
So I said, Pat Rice.
Yeah.
Do you have like some virus on your hands or something? Because I've been sick forever. I don't want to be sick again.
Verbatim virus
Verbatim.
on
I
your
said,
hands.
do you have some virus on She goes,
True.
And so Pat Rice says, I don't know what I got.
Fighting something off.
I'm fighting something off. I said, you take you and your virus out of this room right now.
It's true.
I'm going to mic myself up.
It's true.
And she sat there, which we don't have. The camera can't turn, unfortunately.
No.
But if the camera was able to turn, you would see that there's a doorway, like right outside where my hand is right now. And and she sat there and watched me do it. And I said, listen, virus lady, get out of here.
That's true.
Stop watching me.
That's true.
She goes, are you going to be able to do it? I said, absolutely.
All true.
And we've been sitting here, Belgium, Kim and I, for about 8 minutes waiting for the show to start.
Right.
Because we were sitting before. Usually we come and sit while at some point while I'm at Perv Corner. And for people, who don't watch the show regularly, Perv Corner is that 3-4 minutes of my animated character sitting on the street.
Right.
And Jeff Bosey, who has not been around for a while.
I literally was just thinking that.
Jeff Bosey, who has not been around for a while, or Jeff Bossi, there he is. There's me on Perv Corner.
Right.
Okay. So we usually, we call that Perv Corner, and actually Jeff Bosey came up with that.
He did.
Right, but his name's Jeff Bossi.
Right,
but,
it's not the greatest name of all time.
But somehow it's stuck.
Caught on.
It's caught on. So even like in the social media room, we're like, okay, we're gonna do Perv Corner first,
Perv
and then.
Corner.
So usually we come and sit down, while at some point, if you want to know like the background of what goes on here.
Yeah.
At some point while we're in this 3-4 minute introduction of Perv Corner, which is really, the countdown, but we now affectionately call it that Brad's hanging out on Perv Corner. So, and we like the 5-minute countdown because it gives us an opportunity to sit down, get all mic'd up, get ready. True. So that's, and literally about, by the time Groundhog Sam comes up, literally that's about when we're ready physically in our chairs, we're all mic'd up and ready to go.
Right.
So, we're literally right before takeoff, like 1-2 minutes, we're ready to go. Now, at this particular day, we were sitting here 8-9 minutes.
That's
during
true.
the entire, even before Perv Corner started.
Long before.
Pat Rice was here micing me up before we even started.
Yeah.
And we watched 5 minutes of Perv Corner.
That's right.
And then we watched The American Dream. And we don't usually get to see The American Dream because we're lucky that we get to see Groundhog Sam. Okay, a lot of times we don't.
It's true.
Okay.
It's true.
A lot of times we're like racing and we're like, what was Groundhog Sam about? And we have to watch after the fact.
That's true.
Okay, but we were able to watch 5 minutes of Perv Corner.
Yeah.
The American Dream.
Yep.
We were able to watch entire Groundhog Sam with the train.
Yeah.
Okay, the introduction.
Yeah.
And for 9-10 minutes, Belgium Kim, you never told me I didn't have my mic on my
That
lapel.
was an incredible amount of setup to blame me for something I should not be blamed for.
That is correct.
I was like, where's he going with this?
Because if anybody knows anything about Brad Bernstein, even when it's Brad Bernstein's fault, he always blames somebody else, right?
Project.
That is correct. It's always somebody else's fault. It's never mine. That's why, nobody's perfect. I know that about me, right?
But no one's perfect, but you are.
But except me.
You are.
Right. So when I'm wrong, I won't even admit I'm wrong. It's always somebody else's.
Belgium Kim,
Yes.
why isn't my microphone on correctly?
Right, like we were just joking with Julie Bean
Yeah.
right off camera before we came on, and we were talking about something that we were doing, and and I go, Julie, if it doesn't work out, I'm gonna say, why did you make me do this?
Yeah, 100%.
And I'm the one who's doing it.
100%.
Right? And Julie goes, I know. And we were all joking about it.
But I'm a witness, and I was told I was a
Yes.
witness. It's true.
By the way, I got to do some housekeeping here.
Absolutely.
Where's my broom?
I don't know. You don't own a broom. Don't pretend like you own a broom.
Oh, the housekeeping is just tell you things. Julie's in my ear saying, do the housekeeping. So I was like ready to start sleeping.
No.
So today, Thursday, December 13th, is our last 2-hour show for the year.
What?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
I think
Say it ain't so, Sam. Say it ain't so.
I think I just heard New York City come to a stop outside.
Yes. Did you hear the fire trucks coming?
I sure did.
People are burning the city down. They're burning
Riots
the city
have
down.
started.
So, yes, so today will be our last full 2-hour show.
Aww.
Yes. But tomorrow we will be on at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Ooh.
For 1 hour. We're not going to do a full show. It's going to be a 1-hour show. More than a pop-up, but less than a full 2-hour extravaganza that you usually get.
It's like a flashback Friday to our old shows.
Correct. Like when we used to do the 1-hour shows.
Exactly.
Very good, Belgium Kim. Where we used to condense a 2-hour show into a 1-hour show. Twice a day.
Twice a day.
So and then we all say goodbye for the Christmas holiday season.
Right.
And we'll be back in 2019.
That's crazy.
Yes.
But we're still here tomorrow.
Yes.
You guys still have us tomorrow.
But only for an hour tomorrow.
Yeah.
And by the way, Belgium Kim, where will you be going for your Christmas holiday?
Well, Belgium Kim can only go to one place for the holidays, Brad.
North Carolina?
She's got to go to Belgium.
Oh, Belgium. What do they? How do they celebrate Christmas in Belgium? Do they do it differently than here in America?
There is a slight difference. My family is not particularly religious, so we don't do midnight mass or anything. But
people do. It's a Catholic country.
It is a Catholic country, so a lot of people go to midnight mass. But almost everyone in Europe celebrates Christmas Eve. So you typically do like a big dinner and all the
24th.
Present unwrapping happens.
Everything is on the 24th.
Yes.
And the 25th, so that's the big day.
Yeah, the 24th is the big day. You got a nice dinner, lots of presents.
Right.
That's your.
Right.
We don't do like a Christmas morning situation. Yeah.
Right.
Christmas is to recover from the season.
On the 24th.
Yeah. What do you guys do?
We go for Chinese food and a movie.
Aw, that's
Yes.
cute. We do a Christmas Day movie.
Yeah, we do Chinese food and a movie on the 24th.
That's really
Yes, the
cute.
entire movie theater is just a bunch of Jews eating Chinese food and spare ribs juice coming down on the side of their cheeks.
Wait, do you bring the Chinese food to the movie theater?
Yeah, we sneak it in.
No, you don't.
Yes, we do.
I've literally had this conversation with someone.
You gotta sneak the Chinese food
Is
into
it
the movie theater.
appropriate to bring in a full entree? Like I've snuck candy and stuff, but a full entree?
You can bring the appetizer. I mean, this is Christmas Eve.
So
if they're not going to let you in the movie theater with you bring in the soup,
right?
The egg rolls, you pull them out of pockets everywhere. It's amazing. They're like, what have I got here?
That sounds so messy.
It's very messy. It's extremely messy. You don't even know what to do with the barbecue.
The little spare rib situation.
But it's dark movie theater, so when nobody's looking, you just go whoosh like this. Somebody just throw a bad spare rib at me.
Meanwhile, that's why you always sit in the front,
That's
so you
right.
make sure
you don't get in. It's always very smart on Christmas Eve to sit in the front of the movie theater. Back in the movie theater is very messy.
Never would have known. Hot tip from Brad Show Live. Front row where you get hit in the face with the Chinese spare ribs.
Well, that's the only restaurants open on the 24th of December.
25th,
There's nothing else open.
Yeah.
Okay, the local Italian places aren't open.
Nope.
All right. The French places aren't open.
Nope.
The Caribbean places aren't open.
Nope.
The Latino places aren't open.
Nope.
So who's open?
Sometimes the dollar slice places are still open.
No, they're not.
Really?
They're Italian. They're Catholic. They're home.
They're home. That's actually true.
That's
You're
right.
probably
So
absolutely
nothing
right.
open.
Except the Chinese.
The Chinese place. So the Chinese
delicious.
sell the Jews the food, and we go to the movie theater.
It's a whole economy.
And by the way, I need new batteries.
Oh, I got you.
Yes,
I
we
think
need new
we've
batteries.
got some
We need
here.
new batteries.
It's a lie. I have none in the secret hat that we
why
usually
don't you
keep
tell
the
everybody
batteries
to
in.
share while I tell them I need new batteries now.
That sounds great.
This is the last time I ever tell Pat Rice not to.
I was going to say, she would have taken care of it for you. So, you guys, you're going to share and you know how to, but I'm going to tell you anyway. You're going to hit that share button at the bottom or the top of your screen, and you're going to share it onto your timeline, onto your friend's timeline, into groups that you're a member of. You know the drill. And on YouTube, I'm going to ask you guys to do two things because you've been getting it off easy lately. I'm going to ask you to first copy that link and send it to your friends. Send it in WhatsApp. Send it in a text message. However you want to do it. Also, you're going to subscribe because you love this show and you know that we give great immigration advice and you don't want to miss a live show, especially when we come back. You're not going to remember to get back in the swing of things, so subscribe.
Testing 1 2. Testing 1 1 2. ABC 1 2 1. It works.
That was world-class stalling, I'd like to say.
It works, right? So anyway, so you're in the front row, you take the spare rib, you throw it behind you, and you go. All right, here. What am I doing with these old batteries?
You're going to give them to me.
I'm going to give them to you.
Yeah.
Where are we going to put them?
I'm going to put them...
Store them somewhere.
In the super secret cubby.
Store them somewhere. Let's say hello to the squad.
Do it.
Sweet Destiny Hansel, hello to all my Brad Squad family and the hardworking team. It's been a while. How you doing? It has been a while for Sweet Destiny Hansel.
It has. Where's she been?
And she is a top fan. And where have you been, Sweet Destiny? We were actually just talking about you the other day. We said about people we have not seen in a while.
That's true.
And we were in the social media room saying, there's a bunch of people that used to be, there every day.
Yep.
And then we started to list them.
Yep.
Brad squatters who just disappeared.
Right.
And at first we thought, maybe there's some sort of conspiracy going on that like people are kidnapping people in the Brad squad. You're like, it's a weird thing that all of a sudden, why is Sweet Destiny Hansel and Jeff Bosey not around anymore? Is somebody going and kidnapping them?
It's true.
And then we said, no, that can't possibly be.
I think there's a Bradshaw Live hit squad out
I don't know. like, why? It'd be a great movie. What happened to the entire Brad squad? It's like a weird thing. Like the text is like, wait a second, what puts them all together? They all watch Bradshaw.
Would that be a good movie?
I don't know.
I do picture a corkboard inside an FBI office that's like Bradshaw Live with your face in the middle.
Like most wanted. But then we said no, that would be silly. That people would be kidnapping people who watch Bradshaw Live.
Right.
So then. Jenny from the Cubicle said, I think that they should become enemies of the show if they don't. And I'm like, Jenny, you can't make people in the Brad Squad enemies of the show.
Very militant, that was Jenny from the Cubicle.
I go, boy, you really got to get out of that cubicle sometimes. I'm like, you can't make an enemies list. She's like, yeah, Sweet Destiny Hansel enemy. She has not been on
Public enemy number one.
She hasn't been around in a while. Jeff Bosey, public enemy number 2. I'm like, no, we're not making the enemies list. Maybe they have things to do.
There's a nice and naughty list.
We'll find out. Marjorie Thompson, how are you? Malia Lobin Martin, Jella Shauna, Christy Consali, Tamika Nelson, always there every day. Squad up, Sweet Destiny, she says. And Marjorie Thompson, I said that already. And I say it's Malia Lobin, but it's Malia.
It's Malia.
I know. Tanette So Bless Robinson and Carol Anderson, the Tiger. Cordella Douglas says, squad up, Sweet Destiny. Everybody's welcoming Sweet Destiny back.
She was missed.
How could she? Jenny, you can't make Sweet Destiny the enemy because she hasn't been around in a while, all right?
Wow, Jenny.
She's like unbelievable, Jenny. Burke Madera, how are you? And by the way, it's very true. We had a whole conversation about where some of these Brad Squad has been. Who else? Sankey White, what's going on? Lynn Brown. And who else we got here? Belgium Kim, that's you. Dionne Watson. And Beverly Thompson, what's going on? And we have a lot of people. Lorna Kerr. She says, good evening, gentle people.
Oh, she asked us why, did she miss something? Why are people going to miss us?
Why are people going to miss us? You got to rewind now.
Last full show of the year, Lorna.
Yeah, it's our last full show of the year. Carol Aris Operel, what's up?
Yes, Queen, hello.
What's up? And of course, Kerry Ann Wallace Glenn. And on YouTube, we got Nezzy Show TV popping in. And Afzal A, BK Ricky, BK Jalov, Zoe Q, Lexi, and Tringo Forster.
Oh, we hadn't heard from Lexi and Tringo in a while.
Emmanuel Frechette. Frechette. Andrine Spence, what's going on? Demba Sal. Haven't seen Demba in a while, right?
We haven't seen Demba in a while.
Tanisha Tennant, what's going on? A lot of new people, a lot of old new people.
What could that possibly mean?
I think people, perhaps.
Yeah.
I don't know. It seems to be like a lot of people in the Brad Squad just get picked off, like kidnapped.
Watch your back, Brad Squad.
What was the name? What was the name of the guy in that movie Taken? Who's the actor?
Liam Neeson.
We may have to start getting Liam Neeson to go like find some of these Brad Squatters.
And he will. He will find them, Brad.
You think he can do it, or he's just an actor?
No, I
ever
think
seen
he
that
can
movie,
do it.
Taken?
I think he has those special set of skills.
I think he
Are
has
you
a
kidding
special
me?
set of skills.
Now, Liam Neeson,
Yeah.
textbook zaddy. Textbook zaddy.
Because he's an older man.
Because he's a distinguished gentleman.
Yes. But well, I'm not a textbook zaddy.
Yeah, you're a textbook zaddy.
No. You just said I'm a zaddy, and then you said, but that Liam Neeson, he is a textbook zaddy. So then I'm like, okay, so I'm not textbook then.
Why did you do this?
I'm just trying to get.
No, I'm not saying you're not a textbook zaddy. I'm saying to always clarify and keep clarifying exactly what a zaddy is.
You know what? Nobody has noticed. I'm surprised because nobody has said one thing. Beverly Thompson said she's been busy. Yeah, I've been busy too doing a show, Beverly.
About what?
I don't know
What
she's
have
been.
people
But you know what? Nobody's seen. Nobody noticed.
Oh, everyone.
I never wear a tie.
Literally.
I never wear a tie. Nobody said anything.
Literally fake news, the fakest of
Why?
news. The first 150 comments were about how dapper you looked.
Because I'm in a tie today.
Right.
I didn't see any of these. I went right through them.
Well, yeah, because we were chit-chatting about
Yeah.
your mic situation.
I don't see anybody.
You were setting
Let's see. What does it say? What does the screen
Brad
say?
looking handsome with his red tie, Angela Barrett.
Thank you.
Also,
Thank you.
Jenny from the cubicle just said enemy list is in progress.
Anybody who doesn't watch every day, Jenny's like, all right, they're an enemy now.
Yeah, exactly.
They're
She's
an
got a
enemy.
list.
She's got a list. All right, we got to do something we like to do here before we get into our immigration question. Let's see if anybody's on hold for immigration. We have one person, Amro, on hold from Orlando, Florida. Amro, we're going to get you in about 10 minutes. But first, we got to span the world and schmooze about the news and something we call schmoozing with Brett. So Kim, Michael Cohen,
Yes.
Donald Trump's attorney.
Yep.
Former attorney.
Former attorney.
Former attorney, no longer.
Definitely
took
not.
a last pot shot. A last, like a little undercut, uppercut.
Little uppercut.
Little
Little
uppercut.
jab situation.
No. He didn't jab him.
No.
He gave Donald like an uppercut.
Okay.
He
Like
it wasn't like this. It was like.
Like it's the kind where in the slow motion picture your jaw is kind of dislocated
it's like one of
as
those.
you're
It was like
falling
one of
back.
those Rocky shots where the guy's like on the ground.
Right. Okay.
So
I
he tells the judge before his sentencing he's going to go to jail for 3 years. He has to report at the end of March.
Yeah,
I forgot
March
the date.
6th.
March 6th or
March
something.
6th,
At the beginning of March. He says, "I take full responsibility for each act that I pled guilty to, the personal ones to me and those involving the President of the United States of America. This may seem hard to believe, but today is one of the most meaningful days of my life. I have been living in a personal and mental incarceration ever since the day that I accepted the offer to work for a real estate mogul whose business acumen that I deeply admired." Responding to a Trump tweet that called him weak,
Yeah.
Cohen said that he was weak because time and time again, I felt it was my duty to cover up his dirty deeds meaning Donald Trump.
Wow.
So basically, Cohen said in open court he committed crimes on the request of and on the behalf of Donald Trump,
Right.
the President of the United States of America.
Right.
So it would be like a mafia boss telling one of his underlings, to go commit a crime.
Go do something.
Except the mafia boss is a Teflon Don.
Right.
And that is Donald Trump at this moment because a sitting president under rules and regulations brought by the Justice Department, run by the sitting president, says that a sitting president cannot be indicted.
Right.
Yet everybody who works for Donald Trump at the Justice Department and everybody who works for Donald Trump at the Southern District of New York U.S. Attorney's Office has called him a crook because in their sentencing memo has said basically Donald Trump has committed crimes.
Right.
Despite all of this.
Despite it.
Okay? And trust me, if there were no huge crimes going on, the people who work, the Justice Department works for the executive branch. The head of the executive branch is Donald Trump.
Right.
This would have been shut down a long time ago.
Absolutely.
Okay? So the people so Donald Trump always says the Democrats. It's not the Democrats. The people who work for Donald Trump are saying he's a crook.
Exactly.
Okay. Now, with that being said, Donald Trump took to his favorite medium.
Oh.
Okay, which is Twitter.
Twitter, of course.
And he says, "I never directed Michael Cohen to break the law. He was a lawyer, and he's supposed to know the law.
Oh my God.
It is called advice of counsel, and a lawyer has a great liability if a mistake is made. That is why they get paid. Despite that, many campaign finance lawyers have strongly stated that I did nothing wrong with respect to campaign finance laws, if they even apply, because this was not campaign finance. Cohen was guilty on many charges unrelated to me, but he pled guilty to campaign charges which were not criminal and of which he probably was not guilty even on a civil basis. Those charges were just agreed by him in order to embarrass the president and get a much reduced prison sentence, which he did, including the fact that his family was temporarily let off the hook. As a lawyer, Michael has a great liability to me.
What?
So basically,
Yes.
we have Michael Cohen saying that he committed these crimes
Right.
because Donald Trump told him to do so.
Right.
And Donald Trump saying, I never told him to do this.
Right.
That's basically where we're at with the Stormy Daniels situation. I find it very hard to believe that Michael Cohen would just take it upon himself
Right.
to go pay Stormy Daniels $100 and something thousand
$30,000. Right.
Then have a discussion with Donald Trump about it. Donald Trump says, okay, we're going to work out how we're going to pay you back.
Right.
But Donald Trump says, I never told him to do it. Give me a break. Give me a break. That flies in the face of reality. And anybody who believes that, Donald Trump must really think you're a stupid person.
Right.
Okay? Because there are straight facts out there that Cohen spoke to Donald Trump about it.
Right.
And Donald Trump worked it out with the Trump Organization Chief Financial Officer, Weisselberg, to pay Cohen back.
Right. So if Cohen got paid back.
And Trump has a history of lying about this because he was on an airplane on Air Force One 6 months ago and didn't know anything about this.
Right.
Then all of a sudden Giuliani came out on what's his name?
Meet
guy,
the Press.
No, not Meet the Press. The guy on Fox News.
Not Tucker Carlson.
The guy after him.
Bill O'Reilly.
No, the guy after him. Whatever. The guy.
The guy.
Whatever, because I don't watch Fox News,
Bill
but
O'Reilly. Yeah.
no, the guy, the main guy at 10 o'clock.
The guy.
Hannity.
Oh, yes.
Thank you for and Giuliani comes out on Hannity and says, oh, by the way, Trump knew about it. So
Right.
if he knows about it and he didn't direct Michael Cohen to do it, and why did he pay back Michael Cohen?
Exactly.
Bullshit meter hit 100 there.
1 million. Absolutely.
Meanwhile, Trump's moving to deport Vietnam War refugees, people who escaped Vietnam during the Vietnam War, Vietnamese people who came as refugees to America. He is now looking to deport them back to Vietnam because Vietnam and the United States now has a diplomatic treaty.
Right.
They're recognizing each other's country. We're not at war anymore. Years ago, people couldn't get deported back to Vietnam because Vietnam and the United States weren't recognizing each other, and therefore Vietnam was not taking back deportees.
Gotcha.
Now Trump is saying, too bad, you got to get out of the country. 30 years later, after maybe somebody may have committed a crime in, 1992, okay, and now has lived a clean life.
Right.
And for all of these years, the United States couldn't deport him because there was no diplomatic relations between the
Right.
United States and Vietnam. Now that there is, Trump says, we're going to deport you for something you did 30 years ago.
That's insane.
Insane.
Oh,
Insane.
that is.
In the membrane. Insane. I just said insane in the membrane. I did. The National Enquirer has also now admitted to committing crimes. Yes, the parent company of the magazine, which owns the National Enquirer, Us Weekly, and In Touch magazine. Huge newspapers.
That's ginormous, yeah.
Right, ginormous.
That's the technical term for it.
Right, it's a ginormous organization.
Right.
They have admitted to engaging in journalistically dubious practice known as catch and kill in order to help Donald Trump become president. Would you believe Us Weekly and In Touch magazine is like in cahoots with Donald Trump to become president of the United States of America?
Oh my God.
So federal prosecutors, they revealed on Wednesday, had agreed not to prosecute American media for assisting Donald Trump's campaign by paying $150,000 to Playboy model Karen McDougal for the rights to her story and alleged affair. They bought the rights and then never published anything about it,
Right.
so nobody would know about it.
Right.
It's called Catch and Kill. Now, prosecutors said that the payment was made, it was an illegal corporate donation to the Trump organization to pay for this $150,000 story that they never ran.
Right.
They did it because the guy who owns American Media and Donald Trump are best friends.
And there they are.
Yes.
The whole
His name is
family.
David Pecker.
Look at him.
Look at him. What a pecker he
What
is,
a
right?
pecker.
I mean, you can go on and on. So the non-prosecution agreement also requires David Pecker, AMI, to train employees, but also to provide all the information that the National Enquirer has about Donald Trump and the campaign financing. So I would say that David Pecker and Donald Trump are also no longer friends.
No, probably not.
Yes.
Does Trump have any friends left? Surely not.
Surely he does. Surely he does. Meanwhile, back on the farm.
We have a farm?
Yes, we have a farm.
Okay, good to know.
Yes, we have a farm.
We have a farm.
Yes, E-I-E-I-O. And on this farm,
there was a
goat.
A goat.
A goat. With what does a goat say?
Bah.
Yes. Dear and
bah.
There.
Bah.
Hereabout. Thereabout.
Stop.
Back on the farm, the oldest woman in the world, 102 years old, just set a Guinness Book of World Records, becoming the oldest woman in the world to skydive and jump out of a plane.
Yes, Queen.
Yes. It was done in Australia. It wasn't the first time. Her name is Irene O'Shea from Australia. It was not the first time that she ever jumped out of a plane. She fell 14,000 feet at 102 years old, becoming the oldest woman ever, oldest person ever, whether woman or man, to jump out of a plane and live to tell about it, skydiving. We have video. Let's watch. There she goes.
Aww.
Geronimo. So she reportedly set the world record and used the opportunity to get the word out about the Motor Neuron Disease Association of South Australia, a charity researching ALS and other neurodegenerative disorders that took the life of O'Shea's daughter.
Aww.
And you know what? It's actually sad when you outlive your child.
It is very sad.
That is very sad for the parent, because the parent is never the same if you outlive your child, unfortunately.
No, absolutely not. I can't
I don't know what this story is about, but I'm going to read it right now. Belgium.
We're going to go on this journey with you.
I'm going to go on this journey together. I'm going to discover about this man who was arrested in Texas. He was arrested in Texas after he told kids Santa Claus is not real. Police say a 31-year-old protester who told children Santa Claus is not real was arrested at a North Texas church. Aaron Urbanski was arrested Saturday after authorities were called to a church in Claiborne, Texas, that was hosting a breakfast with Santa Claus. Claiborne apparently went into the church, demonstrating outside of the church, then went into the church and started to cause a disturbance by yelling and screaming, "Santa ain't real! Santa ain't real!"
No! At a breakfast with
At
Santa?
a breakfast with Santa. The kids started crying, ruined the entire buffet, and the police were called in, and they hauled this crazy man away. Now, Claiborne Mayor Scott Kane weighed in on Facebook. This is how this story went now viral.
Right.
Saying, "Don't mess with Santa. Guess they wanted to coal in their stockings to go with a court appearance."
Ha.
Ha, ha.
Funny mayor.
Yes.
What a Grinch.
So meanwhile, Tyler Perry got into the Christmas spirit.
Oh, I love me some Tyler Perry.
Famous director.
Yeah.
Right? You watch his films.
Oh, I love Medea.
Actor. You like?
Love Medea. Love Tyler Perry.
Okay.
Yes.
Big Tyler Perry fan.
I'm a huge Tyler
Now
Perry
you're going to be
fan.
even
He's
a bigger
hilarious.
Tyler Perry fan.
Okay.
Because he paid off $434,000 in Walmart layaways for 1,500 shoppers. And by the way, when you pay off $434,000 in Tyler Perry's tax bracket, I assume he makes millions.
Right, yes.
Okay. That he had to have actually earned approximately $850,000 to pay off that, because after taxes.
Right.
He almost took, it was like almost a little under $1 million of his income.
Wow.
To pay off Walmart layaways for 1,500 shoppers so they would have their gifts for Christmas. He surprised the Walmart shoppers. This was done in Atlanta, by paying off their Christmas layaways. Why does everything great happen in Atlanta?
I was going to say.
Yesterday we learned that they have more orgasms in Atlanta than anywhere else.
And now they get free layaway.
Tyler Perry is paying off everybody.
It's Merry Christmas in
Merry
Atlanta.
Christmas in Atlanta. So, excuse me, the actor and director posted a video on Instagram on Thursday, December 6th, revealing his holiday surprise for shoppers at 2 Walmarts in Georgia. He said, I was trying to do this anonymously, but due to some circumstances, you all know nothing stays a secret these days, so I just wanted to go ahead and tell you. And the Medea star spent $434,000 on this generous gesture. CBS 46, which is the local affiliate, reports that shoppers were in tears as they picked up their purchases at one of the Walmart stores. My mom was crying because she didn't know what she was going to do, one boy told the news outlet. From him, the gift wasn't as important as seeing his mom smile. Aww. I'm more happy that my mom is feeling better. Now, Kid Rock, we're not a big fan of. No. Because he's a Trump supporter, but I will have to say he followed in Tyler Perry's footsteps. So we have to give kudos where kudos are due. Okay. And Kid Rock said that was a great idea, and then he went to the Walmart in Tennessee. Okay. I don't know where in Tennessee, and he paid off $81,000 of layaway items there.
Wow.
And that's not as much as $434,000 by Tyler Perry, but maybe Kid Rock's not as successful.
I was going to say, in percentage of income, it's probably similar.
Maybe he's not as successful. Yes, his percentage of income, yes.
Do you know that on top of David Hasselhoff, now, she hates him because of his politics. Uh-huh. But our dearest Jilly Bean.
She's a big Kid Rock fan?
She's a Kid Rock fan.
Is she really?
She went to a Kid Rock concert.
But Jilly says now that she knows about his politics, she's not a fan
anymore. She hates him because of his politics. Yes,
but she likes the song. But she likes the music.
The music is the music is still good.
Yeah.
Jilly Bean, gotta get mic'd up to defend yourself.
Yeah. So meanwhile, you know the movie Elf, one of my favorite Christmas movies of all time with Will Ferrell. That's like, everybody, at least in my generation of friends, always says that they either watch Home Alone as their Christmas movie or Elf. Is there another Christmas movie that your friends...
Love Actually.
Which one?
Love Actually.
Love Actually.
Love Actually.
No, what movie actually?
Love Actually.
That's the name of the movie, Love Actually?
Love Actually.
Oh, I thought you were going to say, I love Actually, and I'm waiting for the name of the movie.
Who's on first situation.
Yeah. So there's a movie called Love Actually.
Wait, you've never seen Love Actually?
No.
Is that real?
It was real.
Well, it sounds like we're about to have a viewing party, Brad.
Bring the eggnog, kid. I'll bring the movie.
Bring the Chinese food,
yes.
Brad.
I've got the spare ribs in my pocket.
Got the spare ribs. Well, yeah, Love Actually is probably, but yeah, I'm in the Home Alone Elf phase as well.
You're in Home Alone? Yeah. So Elf is my thing every year.
Really?
I always watch Elf. I ever since it came out, like the last 20 years. Love Elf.
Love Elf.
Love Elf.
Love Elf.
You even know, like last year we were talking about, you even got me the T-shirt with me as an elf.
That's true.
And I've always said for like 20, 30 years, whenever anyone gets angry, I'm like, oh, you must be from the South Pole. Because that's the famous line from that movie Elf when he told the little guy. Right. He says, he was an angry little guy and he kept saying, oh, you must be an elf from the South Pole. Right. And the guy says, say, call me an elf one more time. One more time. Boy, you really must be an angry elf from the South Pole. And then the guy just starts puffing. So it's one of my favorite movies.
Fantastic.
So now in Boston, a firefighter has dressed up like Buddy the Elf, and he is now starting pillow fights with strangers on streets in Boston. So a Natick, Massachusetts firefighter lives up to the mantra, the best way to spread Christmas cheer is singing loud for all to hear. But instead of singing, he uses a pillow to spread Christmas cheer throughout Boston. Brendan Edwards dons the green elf costume, the yellow tights, the pointed hat of Buddy the Elf from the movie Elf. And once a week until Christmas, once a day for a week until Christmas, he runs around the streets of Boston helping people cross the street and hitting them with a pillow. And we have video. Let's watch. And Buddy the Elf is now having a fight on the streets of Boston. I am going to tell you something. Either that guy really loves Christmas or he's got nothing really to do with his life.
Well, he's a firefighter. Got something.
You know, he's got something to do. He's either he got knocked out there.
That's
Yeah,
amazing.
he got knocked out.
That's
All
amazing.
right, so there we have it. Schmoozing with Brad. I said it was going to be 10 minutes. Took a good 30.
1 hour into the show.
1 hour into the show. Maybe we do what we're supposed to do here, which is answer immigration questions.
Right.
Belgium Kim, why don't you ask everybody to share one last time, give my voice a little rest, and then we're going to go right into immigration questiones.
Questiones. You guys.
A special questiones session.
Immigration questiones are coming up. Why
That's
wouldn't
right.
you share?
Exactly. Tell everybody. The questiones are coming. The questiones are coming.
You guys, the questiones are on their way because apparently that's what we're calling them now. And the way that you let everybody know that the questiones are on their way is if you hit that share button. On Facebook, you're going to do it by hitting the share button. It says share, and you're going to do it, and you're going to be able to share it onto your timeline, onto friends' timelines, and most importantly, into groups that you're a member of, because everybody needs free immigration advice. And on YouTube, I need you guys to copy that link, send it to all of your friends and your family, and subscribe. Hit that little bell. Make sure you get a notification every time we go live.
All right. So we're going to do something called, if you've got some questiones, I've got some answerones right here in getting answers to your immigration questions. Questiones and answerones right here. Amro has been waiting from Orlando, Florida for a while. Amro, how are you?
Yes, hello. How
Hi,
you
Amro.
doing, Brad?
How you doing?
Ken?
How you doing?
I'm doing really. Thank you, sir.
What's going on?
I just have a question. I came to the States in 2015 in August, and with a student visa, and then after that, right away, I applied for asylum. Everything went so fine, and I did the fingerprints, blah blah blah. They give me the work permit, Social Security, and I stayed like this ever since. The problem happened in 2017, probably in October, I guess. I made a mistake, and I got solicitation for prostitution because I visit a sting operation, unfortunately. And I hired an attorney for that, and they got me like a 6 months. I plead no contest for that one.
Okay.
And
this was down in Florida.
That was in Polk County, Florida.
Okay. So you pled no contest, which means you've been found guilty of something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I played no contest, and then they got me like a 6 months probation.
Okay.
With early termination after 4 months if I did good. I have 15 hours of community service.
Right.
I did actually 4, not just 15. So they after 4 months they.
Well,
they
let me say this.
Yeah.
You're still eligible for asylum. You could only not be eligible for asylum if you commit a crime of an aggravated felony. So this is not an aggravated felony. So as far as asylum's concerned, if you have an asylum claim and you qualify for asylum, you're going to get it.
That's really awesome. Actually, my question was, I'm planning to get married now, and me and my girlfriend in February of the next year.
Okay, now let me say this. Okay, when you go and I'm not sure if you pled guilty to a petty offense or it's a crime of moral turpitude. You'll need a waiver if you're going to get married. Maybe you won't. You have to withdraw your asylum claim first. But at that interview, the officer is going to discuss this arrest. So your girlfriend, who will ultimately be your wife, is going to have to know about this. She's going to have to.
Yeah, she know about it.
Okay, she's going to. All right, because I don't want her to be surprised at the interview and like, honey, you visited a prostitute, you never told me, and starts flipping out. So you got to make sure that she's well aware of this.
It happened before. I know my girlfriend, the current one right now. So
okay, fine.
I told her probably by the second date, so she really appreciated it.
Okay.
She was totally understanding about what happened. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you may need a waiver, you may not. But let's have a consultation. We'll figure it out. Okay? Because I don't know the penal code off the top of my head, but either way, you'll be okay. Hold on one second. All right. All right. Let's go to Zoe in Beijing, China. Zoe.
Hi, Brad.
How are you? You sound like me. You have a cold
good,
too.
But yeah.
What's going on?
Hi, Kim. Hi. So I have 2 questions. Mm-hmm. So one is, my mom, she's a green card holder, but she's been out of the country for more than maybe about 2 years now, and she never applied for any papers to return to the U.S. So at this point, if she goes back, I know there's a chance they might deny her.
No. What she should do, yeah, they would most likely deny her because if they know she's been out of the country for 2 years, they will not let her in the country. So she would be going back and hoping they don't catch it, and that's a big risk to take, and most likely they would catch it. So you're better off to apply for what's called an SB1 visa. You go to the U.S. Embassy, wherever she may be, and apply for what's called an SB1 visa, which is a returning visa for a lawful resident. And what you have to show is that despite the fact that you were outside of the United States for 2 years, you were truly domiciled in the United States of America, meaning that you have your family there. You have to show domicile means your ties. You had your family there, perhaps property there, a home there, bank accounts there, and then a good reason why you stayed out. Maybe you were ill, maybe you were sick, maybe you were taking care of somebody who was sick, maybe it was a job. I don't know. Maybe it was a temporary job. I don't know.
Right.
So, and if you can show that you have the ties, the domicile still to the United States of America, and a good reason why you were out of the country, obviously the longer you're out of the country, the harder it is to get. You would get this SB1 visa to allow you to come back to return as a lawful resident. Then she doesn't have to worry. That's what I would do.
Right. So based on what you've just said, like you said, it's actually a bit difficult to prove all of that. Is it okay if she just get a tourist visa? I mean,
the other thing she can do is that. Absolutely. So if that what I was about to say, but I was going to allow you to, comment. So the other thing is this. The way to get a tourist visa is to show that I don't intend to work and live in America. I'm coming for a temporary visit and I'm returning home. And what better way to prove that I don't intend to work or live in America than say, here, I had the opportunity to legally work and live in America and I chose not to. I'm handing back my green card. Can I get a tourist visa? And they will make that trade every day.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Good. So, yeah. So my second question is more complex. So I went to the U.S. under L2 visa, and then I changed it to F1 when I turned 21.
So you were the child of someone on an L1.
Yeah. Yeah. So and then I don't know. And then just one day I got a letter from school saying that I didn't fulfill my 12th credit because I failed one of the class. And then they're like, oh, you have to apply for reinstatement. But at the time, I guess I didn't know everything about immigration and all of that.
So you went back to China.
Yeah, but then still, I think when I got the letter, it was back in 2009.
Right.
And then I just returned China when I was in 2015.
All right, so you were out of status in the United States for 5-6 years now, and then went home.
Right. So I know there's DS and then unlawful presence, and then there's what you just said. So it's all very complicated because they say there's no ban because you're a student, but then so I just want to hear from you.
So this is the deal, okay? You violated your visa. Okay, why did you violate your visa? Because you failed out of school in 2009. They told you to leave the United States. Who told you to leave the U.S.?
No one.
Oh, no one told you.
I just failed one class.
The school
I just failed one class.
That's fine. I understand. You didn't get a letter from the government to leave. The school said you failed the class.
No, never. Right. Yeah.
So you violated your visa status and you lived out of status in America for 6 years. Now, being out of status is different than having unlawful presence. Okay, you were out of status for 6 years. Unlawful presence is the government told you to leave the United States and you didn't, either because they gave you a specific day to leave and you didn't, or they wrote you a letter and you didn't. Because you had DS status, they never told you a day to leave. So therefore, the 3 and 10 year bars do not apply to you. So generally, people who come on their visitor's visa and they overstay their time, they overstay by more than a year, they can't come back for 10 years without a waiver. You don't have that problem.
Right.
Your problem is you violated your visa, so the government is going to be very difficult for you to prove to the government that you're not going to violate a visa a second time. So the only thing you can do is really try to apply for a green card or try to apply, and then you don't have a problem. But trying to apply for a non-immigrant visa, you're going to have a problem.
Oh, I see.
All right, but you don't have a 10-year bar.
Okay,
all right.
Gotcha. Thanks.
Right. Okay, you're welcome. My poor voice. Yes. All right. Danny in Philadelphia.
Hi, Hi. Good
Hi.
night. How are you guys doing?
Good. How you doing?
I'm doing good. My question is, when you get your medical done, is there a time frame that you have for you to be able to send the papers in, or
It's good. For,
how does that work?
It's good for a year.
Because it was done in, and I saw something that said it has to be done. The papers have to be sent in 60 days doing the medical, and the medical was done in September.
Well, it's good. The medical is good for a year, but you can submit your papers without the medical. They'll still accept everything. Everything will be processed, and you can do a new medical for the time of the interview. But the medical is good for a year.
Okay.
All right.
Because we thought we had to redo it since the 60 days. It was signed on September 21st.
Yeah, okay.
And so
what's going to happen is this. The interviews are taking more than a year. So by the time you get an interview, you're going to have to redo it again anyway. So my suggestion is just file without it and bring a new one for the interview, and don't worry about it right now, because you're just going to keep paying for medicals over and over and over again.
Okay.
All right?
Sounds good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Have a good night.
All right. Let's go to Simone in San Antonio, Texas. Simone.
Hello, sir.
Simon,
good evening.
Excuse me. Simon in San Antonio, Texas.
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir.
How are you?
I'm doing fine. Yes, sir. I have a question regarding my immigration status.
Mm-hmm.
I entered the United States a year ago on a tourist visa to visit my girlfriend.
Right.
And we're planning to get married on that time. But unfortunately, there are some problems we encountered along the way regarding her employment. So right now, we already had a daughter. She's already 2 months old. I want to ask for legal advice. How can I adjust?
Go get married. What are you waiting on?
Okay, sir. And then?
And if she doesn't make enough money, get an affidavit of support from a second person.
Okay, sir. And regarding my status, sir, what about applying for a green card?
You marry a U.S. citizen. I assume she's a citizen. You adjust your status.
No, sir. She's just a
resident.
A green card.
Okay. How long has she had a green card?
Almost 2 years now. Yes.
Okay. Go marry her anyway. Let her file for you. It'll take about 2 years. You'll probably need to do a provisional waiver. You'll go home. You'll come back. But that's the process. If you don't get married, you don't start a process, nothing's going to happen for you. All right? So hold on 1 second. We'll help you. Let's go to Priscilla in Lindenwood, New Jersey.
Hi, Bud. How you doing?
How are you?
I'm all right. So I have 2 questions for you.
Yes.
First of all, I submitted my marriage-based application in August, and then I still have not got my my work permit and my travel document. When do you think I should expect it?
You get a receipt.
Yeah, I did. I got it in August.
And you took your fingerprints?
Yes, I did. I did that in September.
And they never wrote you anything that you're missing documents or anything?
No, nothing.
Okay. So August, September, October, November, December. You'll get it by the end of January, early February.
Okay. So, and my second question is, when I get a travel document, is it safe to travel even though my visa has expired?
Yes.
And I'm not going to have no immigration problems at the port?
As long as you don't stay out for a long period of time, stay out 1 week, 2 weeks, you're fine.
Okay, great. Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right.
Okay, bye.
Let's go to Paul in Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. Paul.
Hello?
Hi, Paul. How are you?
Hey, how you doing, man?
Good. What's going on?
Yeah, I actually came to the United States with a F1 visa, right? So I went out of status because my dad had a little problem paying my school fees and all that. So he came to the United States a year ago, got married and everything. He got his work permit. So he's waiting for his green card interview. So my questions are, when he gets the interview, his green card interview, his green card, like let's say he got accepted and everything,
right?
Can he file for me? I'm 19 years old.
Who's sponsoring your dad?
Huh?
Who's sponsoring?
His wife. His wife. She's a citizen.
How long have they been married?
They've been married. They married like, I think April this year.
Okay, so they married after you turned 18.
Yeah, that was the problem. That was the problem I had.
So yes, he can file for you the day after he gets his green card, but it's going to take some time. All right.
But the extra question I got is, like, let's say he got it, and can I file for I-130 and work permit together, or I have to file for I-31?
I-130 only.
Huh?
It would only be an I-130, and you're going to be waiting a while. That's why I said it's going to take some time.
Oh, okay.
All right.
No problem.
You're not going to be eligible to adjust, unfortunately. So that's what you were asking.
Huh?
You're not going to be eligible to adjust your status, which is what you were asking.
Yeah, that's my question.
You're not going to be able to. Just file the I-130 only. Sorry about that.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. So when would I be able to adjust my status?
About 7 years later. But you would not be eligible to adjust under the current laws. You would do a provisional waiver, go home, and come back. But maybe let's have a consultation. Let's figure out other ways or other things we can do to help you. Like SIJ, you're under 21. If you're under 21, everyone should be thinking SIJ, Special Immigrant Juvenile Petition. All right? So there's other things that can be done. Hold on. Okay? It's important you hold on. It's important you have a consultation. Tamika in Newburgh, New York. Tamika.
Hey, Brad.
How are you, Tamika?
All righty. I got a question for you.
Go ahead.
I got married in 2016, and I did an interview in 2017, and then they called me back this year to do a stroke interview, which my husband and I attend. But the problem is, I'm wondering if there's going to be a third interview.
You got a Stokes interview, and you want to know if you're going to have a paralegal there?
I already do the Stokes interview.
So what is your question?
I'm asking if there's a third interview, like
a third interview? No, there's no third interview. You either pass the Stokes or you don't.
So how am I going to know if I pass it?
They will send you a letter.
Okay.
All right, hang in there.
All right, thank you.
Let's go to Cal in the Bronx. Cal. Oh, sorry, Caro.
Hi, Brad.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. Actually, I got the work permit and the travel card. That is the I-512 in December of last year.
Okay.
And it's going to expire tomorrow. But September, since this year, I'll make request for renewal to get extension, whatever it is, because it's going to expire.
Right.
I got a letter from them stating that it's in process, and haven't heard anything from them since. So I'm wondering if you're going to send me a new card or the letter is additional extension.
They're not going to send you anything new. You just have to file for it and notify for it. So you got to do a new I-765 and a new I-131.
I did that already in September.
Okay, so then
3 months before.
Okay, fine. So it should be coming shortly then.
But then when I call, they said to me within the next 6 months. That's what they said to me.
Well, then I don't know who you're speaking to, and I don't know what you did. But it should take about 5 months from the time you file.
Okay, and okay, so I'm to wait for a new card then. Since I've already did the renewal, just wait for the card to come.
Correct.
All right, thank you very much.
Let's go to Raj in San Jose, California. Raj.
Hi, Mr. Brad.
How
sir,
are you?
2 questions. Good. How are you, sir?
Good. What's going on?
2 questions. First question is, I did call in about, I would say, more than a month or 2 ago, and I could not ask you one question because I was limited in time. First question is for applying a renewal for a green card or applying for citizenship. Having a criminal record, which I do have it, am I better off applying for renewal first, which I am due next year, or should I apply for citizenship first? Don't do either one of them?
You don't do anything until you speak to a lawyer privately about what your criminal records are, because either way, you're going to take a fingerprint. They're going to review your criminal records, and they're going to make a determination whether you're doing it on citizenship or you're doing it on renewal of your green card, whether to put you in deportation. So I would not do anything until you speak to a lawyer first. There's not one that's better than the other because both require you to fingerprint. So hold on 1 second. All right. Okay. Let's go to Lynn in Queens, New York. Lynn. Lynn?
Hello.
Hi, Lynn.
Hi, Brad.
How you doing?
I'm fine, thanks. I have a question.
Yes.
My husband's mom had filed for him in 2006.
Right.
And at that time, well, pretty much he's married. But it turns out that they put him down as an unmarried son. And now his daughter filed for him.
One second. The parents filed for him as an unmarried son when he was married.
Right.
And were the parents citizens or residents?
Well, mom's a citizen.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
But he never applied. He never went to the embassy and said he was married or unmarried or anything, right?
No.
Okay, so the daughter should refile and tell the truth.
Well, the daughter filed for him, and now his wife got her work permit, and he didn't get anything as yet, and they both filed at the same time.
Okay, so I don't know what he's doing wrong. All I know is that the mother lied, but that shouldn't affect him because he didn't lie, and now he doesn't have a work permit, and I don't know what's going on, so he needs a lawyer. So hold on one second. All right, Belgium Kim. All right, Belgium Kim.
All right, Brad.
Why is it that I'm trying to answer some serious immigration questions here, and I hear you snickering on the side of me, and I'm trying to ignore you, and you're just laughing?
I don't know what you're talking about, Brad.
You want me to go back and I could have the TriCaster guy come and
rewind it.
Rewind it.
Jilly Bean was defending her honor to me in messages.
I see.
And so,
that's what's going on while I'm answering immigration questions.
That's literally what's going on.
All right, Belgium Kim, we got to do something that we like to call here social media check-in.
Our first question is from Salman Tariq, who said, can a detrimental letter based on no grounds from an ex-spouse to USCIS in today's immigration climate affect your ROC divorce waiver application with tons of good faith marriage evidence?
No.
That was a simple answer for quite a detailed question. No,
you'll be fine.
Don't worry.
Let her write whatever she wants.
Yeah. Jilted X ain't gonna hurt you this time.
Correct, because immigration knows it's jilted X's.
Right.
You have a lot of documentation saying it was a real marriage, you're fine.
Chrismal Nogala would like to know, if I petition for my husband and his daughter, do they need to be separate, or do they need to be filed separately or together? She just turned 4 years old.
Yes, you file separately for the husband and daughter separately.
Miriam said, a friend of mine was denied citizenship last week because they said he applied early. Mind you, he was an asylee for a year before becoming a resident, and they didn't count his year as an asylee. Did the laws change, or can he appeal the ruling on his citizenship?
No, they're correct. You need to be 5 years as a green card holder, not 5 years as a green card holder and asylee.
Natasha said, I'm 18 and I want to bring my fiance to America. I only have a green card. How could I get him here?
You don't. You would have to go back and marry him. You can only do fiance visas as a citizen.
Haija said, what will happen to an F2 visa holder if he's found working? Please answer with immediate effect.
If he's found working as an F2B visa holder?
As an F2 visa, yeah.
That means you are the spouse of a student and you are found working. If you are found working by immigration, you're going to be put in deportation. Immediate effect of that.
By the way, speaking of people who are going to work themselves on Jenny from the Cubicle's enemy list.
Who's on the enemy
Rita
list?
Ritt just popped in and said,
out of nowhere.
What's squat up?
Where's Rita Ritt been?
Where's Rita Ritt been?
Yes.
We say squat up now, Rita Ritt.
Yes.
Whew. Careful.
And Wendy Brown says, new name, Rita?
No. Yeah, that's right. It's a new thing we've coined.
Yeah, what is the squat? Rita, where have you been?
What is the squat up nonsense?
Yes.
Now we say squat up.
Yes.
Kiana White on YouTube wants to know, I'm an international student and I've fallen out of status for about a year now. Would I be able to fly to another state without any problems?
You should be able to fly to another state. I can't tell you without any problems, but the odds of being discovered as out of status is infinitesimally small.
Alessandra would like to know, what kind of questions do they ask for an employment interview?
Fraud questions. Do you have the experience? They want to make sure that you're doing the job you're supposed to be doing. You're getting paid the wage you're supposed to be getting paid.
Does your they said does your waiver, I don't know what waiver you're giving out, but does your waiver guarantee your return to America even if you're denied a green card at the consulate?
I don't know what waiver he's talking about.
Maybe advance parole?
No.
No?
That's not a waiver.
No?
No.
I got nothing then.
All right. Well, gotta know more.
We gotta know more. We've got a question from San Jose Lion who said, can I travel within the country while having a criminal record if I'm a green card holder?
Yes, but no one's checking your criminal records. But when you go to renew your green card, you may have a problem or do your citizenship.
JoJo's in a pickle because his sister has gotten denied 5 times for a tourist visa. What's the best thing to do? She's got a good job back home and has kids. Aren't those enough to build strong ties to your home country? She is a single mom.
Well, I don't, the answer is I don't know, but she can have a consultation and we can see what we can do to help.
Rashid said, if my document is pending and I have advanced parole with my work permit, can I travel 2 or 3 times on that advanced parole? And how long can I stay out of the U.S.? Am I going to have any problems entering if I stay out 3 months on my advanced parole?
You can use the advanced parole for multiple entries in and out of the United States. I wouldn't stay out for 3 months. That seems like a long period of time. Advanced parole is just for short, innocent, brief trips abroad. 3 months is not a short, innocent, brief trip abroad. So my opinion is 2 weeks.
We've got another question from Audrey Miller who said, if my husband got laid off a week before filing my paperwork, is he going to need an affidavit of support?
Yes, he will.
That is terrible timing. Jermaine said, as a Jamaican with a green card, what or which country other than Jamaica is it okay to travel to and be able to return to the States without a problem?
The entire world, go wherever you want. You may need to get a visa for certain countries, but go wherever you want.
Dolore on YouTube said, I tried to file a form G884 and they asked in the form the date of entry in the United States. And the next question was the port of entry. What does this mean? And after, they asked for a certificate of naturalization number and all of these questions about naturalization, but I'm a green card holder, so do I keep those blank? Help.
You keep the questions that don't apply to you blank, and your port of entry is the place where you last entered the United States of America or the office where you adjusted your status.
And then finally, after he's done with the form, does he mail it regular or priority?
Priority is always better. It's faster.
Plus you get a tracking code. Gotta know where
is that
it is. I got one more. Can I get one more in?
Can.
We've got a question from Nita who said, I came here in January on a J1 visa for 6 months, and then I applied for a B2 visa in June. And it's now pending. The case has been transferred. My question is, can I get married or could I apply for asylum now? Is that still the best way to remain in status?
If you've been here for more than a year, you can't apply for asylum.
Okay.
I don't know where they're at.
He came in January on a J1 for 6 months and then applied for
so you have
a
about
B2
2 weeks
in
left or
June.
3 weeks left to apply for asylum. If you have a real claim for asylum, yeah. If you have a real marriage, yeah. So the best thing to do is what is real.
Right.
And that's it, Belgium Camp.
Talk to an attorney.
That's
it.
Belgium.
That's all we got right now,
so
Brad.
let's go to Marie in Bridgeport. Marie. Hi, Marie.
Hi, Brad.
What's going on?
I need to ask you a question.
Okay.
I applied for VA in 2017 of October, and I've received now my third prima facie.
Right.
I'm just wondering, why is it taking so long for it to be adjudicated?
Because Donald Trump has slowed everything down on purpose. It's a political thing. It's a political thing.
I have not received anything except for the prima facie, and I'm stressing. I'm really stressing.
Well, have you filed an adjustment application?
Yes.
You got your work permit?
No.
How long has it been?
It's been now December. It's 14 months since.
All right, then you're doing something wrong. You should have a work permit and a travel. So hold on 1 second, okay? You're doing something wrong.
Okay.
Hold on. Let's go to Johnny in Florida City. Is there such a place as Florida City, Florida? I doubt it.
Yeah.
There's a place as Florida City, Florida. Okay.
Yes.
Johnny, what's up? Yes, Johnny.
I'm very good, thank you. I have a question, but it's gonna take a little time. The problem is I came here with a student visa in 2013, and I met somebody, and we got married in 2015. I had the travel document and work authorization, everything, but we went to the interview in 2016, June 2016, and they said they're gonna give us a stock interview, and then after that we just started having some trouble, and we no longer live together. And I filed the VAWA in 2017, last year, and they asked me for proof that we live together. The problem is I didn't work at this time. We used to live in my godfather's house, and they asked me for a lot of stuff that I don't have. How can you help me, please?
Well, I can't put together stuff you don't have. I don't have a printing press in the backyard. But you lived in somebody's house. The neighbors, you get affidavits. The neighbors who lived on the floor, or the neighbors who live next door know you. Maybe the person who's the father will help you and write a letter. There's lots of people who know you are living together. So if you don't have documents, you don't have mail, you don't have pictures, you have to get affidavits from people. You got to prove it somehow. So hold on one second. Let's go to Nita in Queens. Nita.
Yes, hello.
How are you, Nita?
I'm good, Brad. Actually, I have already put a question that I came as a J1 here in January. Then I met someone, for him, I put an extension after.
Were you the person who said asylum or marriage?
Yes,
okay.
Yes.
So
I want to know, which is the best.
Where are you from, Nita?
Yes, I hold an Indian nationality passport.
You're going to marry an American citizen?
Yes.
Okay, then file for the marriage.
Okay, that is best, right?
Yes,
thank you.
You're welcome. All right. With that said, Belgium Kim, a while back, I had spoken with a guy by the name of Joe Del Bosque Jr.
Oh, Farmer Joe.
Do you remember him?
Yeah.
Yes, the president of the Del Bosque Farms in Los Baños, California.
You say them with such flair.
Earlier this year, Belgium Kim.
Yeah.
I had spoken with a gentleman by the name of Joe Del Bosque Jr., president of the Del Bosque Farms in Los Baños, California.
Dripping with pizzazz.
Dripping with pizzazz, right? He joined me to discuss how the crackdown, and it's all serious, the crackdown of undocumented immigrants is affecting America's farming industry. It's actually a problem. Let's watch. Joining me today is Joe Del Bosque Jr. He's the president of Del Bosque Farms in Los Baños, California. Now, Farmer Joe, he grows organic cantaloupe, honeydew, almonds, asparagus, cherries. He's got a 2,000-acre family-owned farm on the Great West Side of the San Joaquin Valley. He is with us today not to discuss organic produce, but to discuss the crackdown on undocumented immigrants and how it's affecting the American farming industry. Joe, welcome to Brad Show Live. Tell us all about your farm first.
Well, it's good to be here, Brad. My farm is similar to a lot of farms in California where we grow fruits, nuts, and vegetables. We provide for a lot of the country. They go all over the U.S., go to chain stores across the U.S., and some go to Canada also.
Last year, there was a story that circulated in the news that approximately $13 million worth of crops out in California went unpicked. They rotted in the fields because the farmers out there did not have staff to go and pick them. They did not have farm hands to go out and take the produce off of the farm and out to the stores because the rhetoric from Donald Trump was so fierce that workers were scared, immigrant workers were scared to come work on the farm. Tell us about that.
When we started the year back in March of last year, harvesting asparagus, we did experience a lack of workers that didn't show up. We have our same workers come back almost every year in our seasonal crops. We called them, but a lot of them didn't come out for a few days, and we did lose some crop until they finally felt comfortable coming out to the field. But we had to kind of soothe their fears about being out there in the open.
Were you able to harvest everything?
We finally did, yeah. Well, we were nip and tuck with our labor supply. We were just barely had enough people to get through. But we lost a little bit of our earliest crop.
Last year, you had expressed some fears that Donald Trump and his immigration policies, they were going to hurt farmers. Has that come to fruition?
Well, our labor shortages have been going on for a while, and they certainly aren't getting any better. If anything, they're probably gradually getting worse. We're not getting new workers coming into our workplace, and our local native-born people don't want to come and work in the fields, so we're largely dependent upon people from somewhere else.
So how much of a percentage of the people who work in your farm are not Americans?
98%.
98% of the people who are picking, and this is not just your farm. You're not out of the ordinary. Would you say that that's a typical farm, or do you have more immigrants than most?
I probably have more than most, and I think farmers that do fresh fruits and vegetables that have to be picked by hand, those have a very high percentage of non-Americans.
Right.
Those that have mechanically harvested crops may have fewer, but still have immigrants.
So there's a problem getting immigrants to come and literally pick the produce in the fields. What's contributing to all of this, in your opinion?
Well, a couple of things. You know, we did have a lot of deportations in the last 10 years, first of all. And then we had a lot of tightening on the border, kind of discouraging people from coming across. That and our workforce is aging, and there's not a lot of young people coming in to replace them. Also, our farm workers' children do not want to work in the fields. They have the benefit of their parents supporting them and sending them off to college, and that's great. We love that. But they're not going to come back and take their parents' place.
There's a lot of people unemployed in America right now. Why can't the argument would be that you would see from many people who favor very strict immigration, go hire an American?
They just won't come out. We make our work available to anybody that will show up. All they have to do is show up here, and we'll give them work, but they don't come out. We actually go into town and try to recruit people, and sometimes we get a few, and out of 300 people, we may get 5 or 10 people that way.
Your labor shortage has been like this. You've been touch and go for a while now. Even under Obama, it was difficult. Is there a big change between Obama and Trump? What do you see as the big differences?
Well, I think the labor supply has shrunk over the last 10 years, including during Obama. It's getting even tighter now. So any little thing like fear all of a sudden will impact that smaller labor supply. And people will either stay home or they'll go somewhere else. Fear does not help us.
Do you see a difference, though, between the way that Obama was policing immigration versus how Trump is? There seems to be more fear now, although there seem to be a lot or as many deportations under Obama, but maybe less fear. Do you see anything specific locally amongst your business associates who also may own farms?
Well, under Obama, there were a lot of deportations, but he did them very quietly, and there was not a lot of rhetoric from his part. He very seldom spoke about it. But Trump does speak about it, and his campaign, a lot of it was based on that, and so he struck fear into the hearts of these folks. And so that is the difference. We've been short of people since Obama and into this day, but folks are more cognizant of the government trying to crack down on them.
So now there is something called an H-2A program, which is seasonal agricultural workers. And some would say, well, there's a legal way to go find immigrants. Go do the H-2A program. Why don't you do that?
It's not very easy. First of all, you have to be able to transport them. You have to house them. You have to make sure they're fed. You have to guarantee them 75% of their wages, whether they work or not. It's a very cumbersome program, and not very many farmers have housing and transportation for their workers.
So the smaller farmers really can't do it. It would only be the big farms who could actually do it.
That's exactly
and
right.
from an immigration standpoint, you got to be able to prove you're not taking a job away from an American worker. You got to go through the Labor Department, then you got to go through the Immigration Service, and then there's a quota on the number of people that you could actually even bring in. You may not even be able to bring in as many as you want. It is a huge, cumbersome process, an expensive process. It's time-consuming, it's expensive, and it takes a long time to get your workers in, and sometimes even the workers don't get there in time to harvest the crops because the immigration process doesn't work the same way as Mother Nature.
No, that's correct. And I saw that happen last year with a friend of mine who picks tomatoes. She's a labor contractor, and she started working on H-2A months before the tomatoes became ripened, and it was time to pick, and those folks were still not here.
Right.
And she didn't know what to do. So I think they probably lost some of the crop at the beginning.
So what do you think should be done? You're an outspoken critic of what's going on right now. You are living this every day. You're dealing with immigrants every day. You see them as human beings. What needs to be fixed?
The first thing that needs to be done is we need to provide legal status to those people who are working right now. The people that are out there in the field right now, they're driving tractors, they're irrigating and so forth. We got to find a way to give them legal status. Then we have to have a guest worker program that makes it easier to bring people in for the season. Because right now we can grow all of our crops with 20 people, but it takes 300 to pick them. So we have a surge of demand for workers in the summer that we can't fill here. So we have to be able to bring people in at least for that season and then allow them to go back home.
I agree with that. The way the system works now is the people are lucky enough to get here. They don't want to leave because they don't know if they'll ever make it back again. So it's actually that we are keeping them almost in jail in America, and I would say most people want to be able to go back and forth. And our stupid politicians don't allow it. The other thing I wanted to say was, because I'm playing the devil's advocate. Okay, you give the farm workers legal status. What's to say they're going to continue to work on the farm? How do we know they're not going to go take my job? I'm working in a store, or I'm in an office, and they got their green card now, and they don't want to pick apples anymore, and they want to go take my job in the office. What would you say to Americans about that?
And that will probably happen. I think some of them will go off into other jobs. They could possibly go to construction, because sometimes construction has demand for people. So I think that we have to have a sort of a replenishment program where those people either they move on to something else or they retire and somebody has to come in and take their place. So we have to have a sort of replenishment program to replace those folks that migrate away or into retirement.
It seems like it's a lot of common sense, and I don't understand why people can't understand that. You put yourself out there and you're saying, you know what, we got to be able to do this, we got to be able to change the laws, and you have a big business, and maybe somebody with a big business would say, I'm not going to say anything about immigration. I don't need anybody looking my direction. Why do you come out and do all of this?
Yeah, a lot of farmers would not speak about this, right. And I do stick my neck out there because somebody has to. And I feel that I have been doing this already so long that I certainly have a lot to lose, but it has to be done. And folks out there in the public, in the American public, need to hear it from the farmer that produces their food. And they need to know that we need these people to pick those crops. The same people that have been picking those crops forever, we need to do something to give them legal status so that they don't have to work in fear.
Now, a lot of farmers, they were big Trump supporters. They like the idea of getting rid of the death tax so that they can pass on their farms to the next generation without being taxed or having to break up the farm. Do you see some of the farmers with some buyer's remorse with Trump?
I don't know if I would see that, but certainly they're getting a mixed bag from Trump. We look for who's going to help agriculture the most, and we weren't hearing that from Mrs. Clinton. So a lot of farmers decided to go with Trump. And now some of these fears are coming to life, and so what do? We've got to try to see who can help us And I think a lot of farmers thought it would be Trump.
So is there anything else, other concerns for immigration? I know there's, the trade with China, tariffs, there's California put in a new hourly worker law. Tell me quickly about the other concerns that are hitting farmers. It's not just immigration. Farmers are getting hit from all sides.
Well, we are getting hit by our state here on things like minimum wage. We're going to be up to $15 an hour in 4 years, and that's going to put a lot of crops out of business here. You watch in 4 years, there will be no more asparagus in California. It'll be gone. It'll be produced in Mexico, and that may happen to a lot of other crops. Now, the trade deal is also hurting crops like the almonds, because we export so many crops, and not just almonds. We export grapes, we export citrus, we export dairy products. Those are all important to California. We're one of the biggest agricultural exporting states in the nation, and so anything that constricts trade certainly does hurt us.
Well, I see there's lots of issues here, and I really appreciate you coming on to share that with us. Let me ask you a question. And this is on my show a lot. We always say, everybody always says, kick out the immigrants, they're illegal, they're criminals, until the ones you actually meet. Do you hear from farmers saying, the guys who work for me, the immigrants who work, they're all good guys, they should be able to stay? In the netherworld over here, they're saying, everybody else should get out of here. Do you get to see that also with some of your colleagues, farmers, that they like their employees, but everyone else should get kicked out?
Well, I think that most farmers really appreciate their workers. They're hardworking people. They're they're members of our communities. They have kids. They're just like us. They have families. They have needs and so forth. And they're very productive people. Now, obviously, there's some criminal elements, just like in any society. And I think any farmer and even any legitimate farm worker would say, get rid of those people. Our workers don't want these criminals here. They just as well get them kicked out. So the hardworking people, the people who have been part of our communities, we have to do something about incorporating them into our communities.
I agree wholeheartedly. Very well said. Farmer Joe Del Bosque, Jr., I really appreciate your time. Thank you very much for coming on the show. We have Sam the Groundhog here. He wanted to come on and, talk to you a little bit, but I said, no, I don't think farmers and groundhogs get along very well. How are the groundhogs treating you out there in California?
Well, we'd like the groundhog to come out and see his shadow more often in California, because we're always short of rain here. And, speaking about concerns of farmers, water is, if not number one, it's number two between water and immigration. So we would invite your groundhog to come out here and see his shadow and go back under.
All right.
But do it early, like in January.
I think he's going to want to take a trip. Thanks for coming on. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. Sam even getting in with Joe Del Bosque, Jr.
It's not a full interview unless we ask a farmer about a groundhog issue.
Exactly. Damn groundhogs.
Damn groundhogs.
We have any last lingering social media questions?
I do, Brad. I know I told you before that I had one, but now there have been more that have trickled in. I've got about 5. Can I work them in? Legs 11 Teg says, I'm married on a VWP after 42 days. I've been out of status for 2 years. Can I file to adjust status now, or am I going to need to return home?
Yes. Go file to adjust your status. By the way, the visa waiver.
Visa waiver. Yes. Thank you. Had no idea. Yes. Normally I know. I didn't know.
Yes.
Salman said, is Pakistan the country which goes into extensive background checks at the time of ROC as well as the time of naturalization application?
Yes, and we have a guy by the name of Abadir who will sue the government because at some point they got to make a decision on your case.
Diana says, can someone that gets Social Security disability file for a family member?
Yes, because that's not need-based.
Salman's got a follow-up. He said, I also received my 18-month 797 conditional GR extension from the California Service Center in August, but no fingerprint appointment yet. Is that normal, or should we do we think that USCIS is scrutinizing us more?
I just hang in there. You'll be fine.
Santo says, I've got a friend who's a U.S. citizen. He wants to know if he can sue the U.S. Embassy for accusing his wife of giving false documents when they didn't even do an investigation on the documents and they were absolutely authentic.
Well, you could sue the U.S. government for under the APA claim for Administrative Procedures Act if they falsely denied your visa or denied your visa under false pretenses, of course.
And then our very last question is Dawnette, who said, if someone got their interview date for their citizenship test but went into labor to have their baby before the interview, could they get it rescheduled? And if so, how would they go about rescheduling it?
Absolutely. Call the 1-800 number.
Yeah, birth seems like a pretty good excuse.
All right, Kim, comments of the day. Comments of the day. I won't say it. Done correctly.
That's all right. Yes. Afzal said, I thought I was going to be late, and I had to drive on the shoulder lane, broke a few red lights, and got pulled over, but had to make sure I didn't miss a minute of the show.
Wait, go Afzal, breaking every rule in the book.
That is safety first, yes. But also, yeah. Malia took the news real hard, Brad. Our housekeeping. She took that real hard. What? She said, I am going to miss my favorite show ever. What am I going to do without Brad Show Live?
It's Christmas. Enjoy the holiday season.
She said, I don't know what I'm going to do without my Kim, my Brad, my Groundhog Sam.
It's Christmas. Enjoy the holiday season. We'll be back after the new year.
I'm going to feel like a fish out of water.
She's no fish out of water.
I'm going to cry my heart out for my show.
She's not crying her heart out.
Don't
She'll be
cry,
okay.
Malia.
She'll be okay.
And we'll be right back here when you're ready for us. Right after the new year on January 7th.
Right after the new year.
Right after the new year. Thanks. Perfect. Woohoo! We've also got one from I'm a Survivor who said, Brad Bernstein's looking draper today. Can't beat a red tie and a black suit. Clean as a whistle. Well, okay, now to explain what Draper is, like Don Draper from Mad Men, who is the suavest man.
Of suave.
Oh, man, another zaddy. Yes. See, she's calling a zaddy
Thank
a
you
zaddy.
very much. Thank you very much. And finally.
No, we've got two more.
Oh, okay.
Sanke White said, so I'm supposed to be in class at 7, but I'm still here watching Brad, and I haven't even started getting ready yet.
All right, Sanke,
I'm learning.
All right, exactly. That's funny. I like that. I was about to say go to class, but she's learning here.
Yeah, she's learning. Right. She's got something.
Like
and then finally, we've got Fox Racing, who came in with the best piece of advice I think anyone's ever given.
What?
Never go to USCIS without an overqualified and expert lawyer like Mr. Brad.
There you got it. That man's a genius.
That man is a genius.
That man's a genius.
And we're not just talking about you, Fox.
No.
That one too.
No, I'm talking about Fox.
Yeah, but
genius.
I was talking about you.
You
see what I did there?
Right, you. All right, we'll see you all tomorrow for 1 hour only, 3 to 4. We're coming in early tomorrow, 3 to 4, New York time, Eastern Standard Time. See you all tomorrow. So, Sam, as part of the production, we have to say this disclaimer at the end of the show. Do you mind reading it for me?
Okay, but you know, Brad, I have to do everything around here. It's bad enough I've got to remember everything that happened on the episode from the previous day.
Forget it. I'll do it. The proceeding was information only and not specific legal advice. Consult an attorney about your individual situation. Prior successful results do not guarantee a similar outcome in the future. To make an appointment with the Spar and Bernstein law firm located at 225 Broadway in New York City, call 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. Easy to remember, 1-800-LAW-LINK. That's 1-800-LAWLINK. Once again, make a call to 1-800-529-5465. And of course, link up with the law offices of Spar and Bernstein, located at 225 Broadway on the 5th floor. If I were you out there, make the call, make the link, make the connection, make it Spar and Bernstein. 1-800-LAWLINK. That's 1-800-529-5465. And now, conveniently located in Hartford, Connecticut on 1 Congress Street. Visit us in Connecticut or in New York at 225 Broadway. That's 1-800-529-5465. 1-800-LAW-LINK. 1-800-529-5465. What are you doing?